Hello and welcome. This is Darren DeFord, and I'll be bringing you the 12th Community Challenge Collection Deck Series being run by Sparrow off of the Battleforge forums. This particular challenge runs on the single-player map, Encounters with Twilight. It is set to Expert difficulty, and Coldmind is the one who mastered this at 12 minutes and 17 seconds, and he is using a Shadow Frost deck. Now the great thing about the community challenges is Sparrow makes you do them in unique and unusual ways. There are certain rules that you have to abide for. In this particular case, you weren't allowed to use any Era 4 cards, as well as Banestone, Nightguard, and Ashbone Pyro were prohibited, and you weren't allowed to raise the defensive wall in the second leg. So as long as you followed those rules and a few other minor ones, you were able to submit. Coldmind here will start out with a Shadow Orb, and he will summon in 4 Nox Troopers. And the object of this leg is to clear out this nest of Twilight right here and grab your second orb as quickly as possible. He summons in 4 Twilights. The Shadow Orb will take out the Twilight Archers here, and the Nox Troopers will head up to help these North Guards trying to battle this Twilight Devastator. Nox Troopers have a great range actually, and decent damage, and they have no problem dispatching the Twilight Devastator whatsoever. Once it's dispatched and he has the power, he will grab this power wall right here. You will then have another group of North Guards running from these Twilight Archers, of whom the Nox Troopers will engage quickly, and the second wave of Twilight Minions and Twilight Brute will come down. As this is happening, more North Guards will charge, giving the Nox Troopers the cover they need to range all of the Twilight mobs. Now what you need to do is take this orb. You have to take out these Twilight Hags. Well, the problem with that is the Twilight Hags will knock back small, medium units. So what you're going to see here is Coldmind brings in 2 squads of Skeletal Warriors who, once activated, will take 60% less damage for 30 seconds and then die afterwards. And he's using these for cannon fodder, as you'll see. The Nox Troopers are following. The Twilight Hags will concentrate fire on the Skeletal Warriors. There's a special ability, and the Nox Troopers will range them. Now over here you'll have 2 Twilight Brutes taking on a set of North Guards. As you can see, the North Guards are being healed, so leave this fight alone until you're done with the Hags and the tower. Once you pull or try to assist these North Guards, the Brutes will attack you, and it's just, you don't need to worry about them because this fight's not going anywhere anytime soon. So deal with the tower, take out the Brutes, and then you will grab this second orb. Now the next part of this leg is kind of difficult because of Twilight Whisperers right here, who will heal the Twilight minions as well as blind your own, so you have to take them out as quickly as possible, otherwise they keep on spawning. Well, they spawn from this infestation right here, and you will see here in a moment it's kind of a decent way of taking it out. Coldmind has now defeated the Brutes, and he is bringing in a Frost Orb. He is going to bring in a Decomposer as well as a Furnace of Flesh. Once he has his Furnace of Flesh and Decomposer up, he will sacrifice his Nox Troopers to build up his Void power and give him as much power as he can to summon in a couple of Shadow Phoenixes. There's the Furnace of Flesh. Once that is done, the Omni Gate will come down, and you will see civilians running from a Vileblood, a Slayer, as well as a Twilight Whisperer. Now you really don't need to worry about these, as Rogue and Kill and the civilians will hang on to them and hold them off. And as soon as the Furnace of Flesh is built, which is about is, you will then see him move the Nox Troopers to the Decomposer, sacrifice them, build up his power pool, and summon in 4 Shadow Phoenixes. Now the Shadow Phoenixes are going to fly southeast and suicide on this infestation, which is where the Twilight Whisperers as well as some of the bigger mobs spawn from, the Devastators. So once this one's taken out, this section of the map is much easier to complete because you don't have to deal with continuous waves of Era 3 and Era 4 units. Now when you are flying this unit, you have to be careful of the Sky Scorcher, which is going to make very quick work of a Shadow Phoenix if you're not careful, as they don't have high hit points. As you can see, this particular one right here is about dead and does die, so he only gets 3 of them off. But it's enough to take out this infestation as well as the rest of the creatures around it. Now, just because you took out the infestation doesn't mean they don't spawn. A couple of Hags will still spawn from this particular cave right here, so just be wary of that. Now that he's got his power pulled back up and Shadow Phoenixes are done, he will bring in 3 Lost Shades as well as the Promo Viridia, if I can click on her here. I can figure out where she is. There she is, Promo Viridia. And that's when he brings this one in basically for her heal, because it's 3% of the hit points every 2 seconds. So that's how he can keep his units healed. The tree spirits are from Viridia. They don't have any special abilities or anything. They're being used strictly as tanks to soak up damage. The Lost Shades have an AE damage cone. Anything in its area will be damaged, as you can see here, the Infestation as well as the Twilight minions. And between the Lost Shades and the Tree Spirits, he makes very short work here. He's going to grab this power well once it's clear. And the first stage of this map is really about trying to get as many of these power wells as quickly as possible, because unless you have a decomposer or a furnace of flesh, trying to get power in the first leg of this map is slow and agonizing, to say the least. He is then going to take out this infestation. Now when you're fighting this map, you need to be careful of the Twilight Slayers here, which are the ones with the tridents. As you can see, when they die, they will explode. It's basically a miniature eruption spell. So if you have any units that are around them when they die, try to clear them out if they're low on hit points, as you'll see right here. Otherwise they'll get caught in the blast radius and they will end up dying. Tree Spirits are staging next to the power well to grab it once he has enough power. Viridia is ranging as well as healing. As you can see, she's healing the Lost Shades that are within range. And the 3 Lost Shades will have no problem taking out the towers. Now he's going to leave this orb for the simple reason is he doesn't have the power for it. So he's going to clear the loop. He now has to deal with a Devastator as well as an Abomination. As you can see, there's no Twilight Witch here. He is then going to bring in, or use Viridia to pull. He's going to summon in some Snapjaws. And he's bringing the Snapjaws in for one reason and one reason only, and that is for the 50% damage that they will inflict upon the Devastators. Once the Snapjaws start attacking them, they will start taking 50% more damage. He will also use a Home Soil to give them 50% more damage dealt. So all in all, with the Snapjaws and the Home Soil, he does very, very well, very, very quickly in taking out the Twilight Abomination. And Viridia there again is there strictly for the regeneration, and it's enough to hold off the Abomination. Now as you can see, we have a Twilight Hag here which spawned from this cave right here, so just be wary that she will spawn, but if they can handle an Abomination, they will have no problem whatsoever with the Twilight Hag. He will then take out the Sky Scorcher, take out the tower, and then move north to take out this infestation as well as this Sky Scorcher as well. He gets himself a power well, and then he proceeds to clear the rest of the map. Now once you take out the infestation, Sky Scorcher, and the brutes, you're going to, he uses a Home Soil there, you're going to see an ambush of Twilight Beetles, which really isn't that much for what he's got going on here. There's the ambush. There are the Twilight Crawlers. Now part of the rules for this challenge is you're not allowed to raise this defensive wall. You have 2 choices here, either defense or offense. You have to build an offensive force to destroy everything that is north of you, or you can do defensive and have them come to you by clicking on the Screaming Stone here. Now, seeing how the winner is the person who can do this quickly, the quickest, obviously you want to do defense because it pulls all the creatures to you as well as clears out the map. Now you can see he is sacrificing his Lost Shades, his Snapjaws, Viridia, trying to build up his Void power as quickly as possible. And once he does this, and he does his last Lost Shade, he will destroy the Decomposer and the Furnace of Flesh. He's brought in the Construction Hut, and he will now bring in an Embalmer's Shrine. And he will now come out on here. He's got his 3rd orb. It is a Shadow Orb. Embalmer's Shrine, upgraded to level 3. Here's another Furnace of Flesh, and now he brings in a Laskagori, which, by the way, is probably the most overpowered card that there is. Side note from me, personally. He will then wait here for Rogan-Kale to lower the Omni Gate. And once he lowers the Omni Gate, he is going to send the Gagori all the way over here to the entrance. And here we go. And the race is on. Now the reason why he's doing that is this rather interesting strategy here, which I personally have never seen before, but I usually stick with a straight nature deck. So nature's not allowed or not able to do what he's about to do. He's going to nether warp to the other side of the gate, which puts him in a great position to set up before the Wraith Gazer actually spawns. He's now going to summon in a Mutating Frenzy. and he's going to kill all these trash mobs. And once all these trash mobs are killed, he's going to kill or sacrifice the last Gagori. And as he's doing that, he's bringing in cultist masters to sacrifice at the furnace of flesh. He has now cleared out this. Whoop! He's still got one Twilight hag to go. He's killed off his Gagori, put it back in the void pool. The mutating frenzy is now by himself. He will bring in a ice barrier here so the mutating frenzy can burn. He has now activated the Embalmer Shrine, and as you can see, his void power pool has come up. He is now bringing in Necroblaster towers. These towers will fire once they have enough life points stored up, and as soon as he has his 6, he will destroy the construction hut. Now the patrols, these Twilight Abominations, as you see, as well as the Twilight Dragon, they won't go past this gate right here until you use the Screaming Stone. So as you have plenty of time to set this up. You can initiate the fight whenever you wish to. As you can see, Mutating Frenzy has brought in the Ice Bearer to allow himself to heal. The Cultist Master is going to start summoning in his Night Crawlers, which he's going to sacrifice to the Furnace of Flesh to try to build up as much life points in the Necroblasters as possible. And then once they have life points stored up, they end up doing 600 to 700 points of damage per shot, and they will make mincemeat of the orbs. He has now activated the Screaming Stone, and he is going to destroy them, basically. Every mob that's up north will immediately charge. Now, while he's doing this, he summoned in Viridia here to help the Mutating Frenzy restore its hit points. He's activated Mutating Frenzy's Death Wish, which allows it to do 25% more damage, but it loses 30 life points, so it has to regenerate very, very quickly. And you want to find that this Mutating Frenzy is about to get buffed beyond all belief. As you can see, his 6 Necroblaster towers are holding. The more he kills, the more life points. He's got a Twilight Dragon attacking. And we're just going to sit here and watch. He has now brought in 2 Tree Spirits. He's brought in Home Soil. And as you can see, Mutating Frenzy's getting low on power. He's brought in a Fallen Sky Elf. He's used Home Soil. Now the Rift Grazer, and I'm going to play this in half speed so you can just see the slow motion effect. And in 4 hits, the Mutating Frenzy will deal with the Twilight Rift Grazer. And right as he does, just in time, the Mutating Frenzy dies. And with that, he has cleared the map and won the Community Challenge. My hat is off the Coldmind. I am not a Shadow Frost player, so I have to admit this was a very unique strategy that I first saw, that I was very impressed when I first saw this. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope y'all can use this and improve on it. And until the next Community Challenge, y'all have a good day. This is Daring to Ford signing off. By the way, Full Nature still rocks.